Good evil, this is Man Cave Monday. I'm Shannon, and this is what's going to be happening every evening for me for the next couple Sundays coming out on a Monday. We're going to cover from everything from food, fitness, fightings and films, and basically I'm just going to do what comes up, or video that catches my eye, like or old fights, basically just anything like that, just to pass a bit of time. I thought, why not? Like, I'll talk for England, let's just give it a go. Today I got my boy Tyler with me. He's going to come and see what he thinks about, what was it we're doing again today? This is transgender athletes. So this is definitely going to touch on some nerves, and this is definitely something that I can speak from about personally, not because I'm transgender, because obviously from the athletes and fighting backgrounds. I've sparred women personally. I know the difference between a man and a woman, and biologically it is a big, it's a big difference from fitness. Like, women are generally usually quicker, but the difference is power, speed, conditioning. I think on a whole, fitness wise, men are going to be generally fitter than women. That doesn't always happen, because there's that Courtney Dauwalter, the woman who runs the Moabs at the moment, and she smashes it. But yeah, okay, basically I reckon we should just crack on with it, and then yeah, let's just go. Where's the dude? There it goes.
Transgender MMA fighter has said she wants a license to fight in California.
The biological male has...
Okay, first off, I will just start off with this. This is to not defend anyone. I'm going to speak my mind, and I'm going to just say it how it is, how I see it. This isn't to offend anyone. If you have trained as a male for most of your life, and especially when it comes to MMA, powerlifting, or anything we've just seen then, biologically, like,
you're going to be stronger.
You're going to look like a jacked up motherfucker, because you are. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's no denying it. And if you just start getting some of the female genes, yes, so the muscles might start to do you know what I mean, look smaller or whatever, but it's, you can't, like, do you know what I mean, a full head of hair, and
well, your bone density is still the same.
Well, yeah, that doesn't change. Like, biologically, you're still a male. Like, it doesn't... Like, just because people may address you different, or you feel different, or you are different, like, unfortunately, like, biologically and chemically, you're a male. So, right, okay, let's just carry on with it before I get too much into this.
Just become the first transgender person to win a world title in cycling.
First transgender weightlifter winning her maiden international event as a woman.
A biological male winning a gold medal in a women's event now seems a matter of when, not if.
Since sports events began, men and women have been segregated by gender to make the competitive events fairer due to differences in muscle mass, innate strength, or testosterone levels.
Science.
But nowadays, these physical differences no longer seem to be a determining factor.
There are all kinds of reasons that people have advantages. Somebody's parents can give them year-round training. Somebody else is really, really tall and someone's really, really short.
Sport has never been fair. You bought into that myth, so for a lot of other people, but let's face it, if I wanted to be a jockey, I couldn't be. Nature endows her gifts unevenly in society.
It's true that some physical characteristics give athletes an unusual advantage in sports, like Michael Phelps' long arms or Usain Bolt's height. But the genetic difference of being born as a male or female and competing with the opposite gender proved to be more of a determining factor than any bodily developments in sports.
If you go through puberty, you have all the benefits of having a male body. And even if you transition and reduce your testosterone, you're still going to have those benefits. You're going to have the bone structure, the slightly bigger heart, more red blood cells. So therefore, a female athlete competing against a transgender female is always going to be at a disadvantage.
Testosterone.
Look, how can you logically argue this? Like, from like any common fucking sense backpoint, how can you argue this?
You can't, at the end of the day, like they said, regardless of, like you said as well, like regardless of how you feel and what hormone blockers you take and what, you know, medicine procedures and everything else you have to go through. Sorry, and what pills you have to take, that was it. Like, you're still going to be biologically
Yeah, you're just going to grow a little slower, but you're still going to go more than a normal woman.
In the same way, a trans male, i.e. a female to a male, if they were fighting in the UFC as a male UFC fighter, they would get absolutely destroyed.
And they sparred men all their life. They've taken harder punches all their life. They've trained for longer, harder. It's
no different than Fallon Fox with her sparring. Like people, the women that he sparred against have said, I've never been hit that hard. Which because you've never been hit by a man.
No, it does happen in boxing. I've sparred with women and stuff like that. But there's a difference. You pull your punches.
Yeah.
Especially the weight might be similar, but it's just a different ball game.
Yeah.
But
unintended.
Hormone levels are important because the amount of the hormone defines the eligibility of athletes to compete whenever sporting events are limited to a single sex, following IAAF rulings.
The idea that we need to protect women's or female sport from other women and females is itself inherently discriminatory. No testosterone policy will ever work.
Male to female athletes no longer need to have reassignment surgery, but they do need to demonstrate that their testosterone levels have been below 10 nanomole per litre for at least 1 year, according to the 2016 International Olympic Committee guidelines.
It's not saying you are a man or a woman.
Done all the work.
It's saying you can compete. It's
you just maintain
a matter of eligibility to participate in certain competitions.
In the case of female to male athletes, they can compete without restrictions.
The 10 nanomoles per litre, as I understand it, something like 90% of female athletes, their testosterone levels are around 3 nanomoles per litre. So in other words, this upper limit is 3 times what would be typical in a female athlete. So it seems like a kind of arbitrary setting unrelated to the realities of the situation.
Well, I actually agree with you there.
But what happens with student athletes who decide to change their gender? Well, the rules are not clear at all. Most countries don't have clear regulations. And the biggest student sports organisation in the US, the NCAA, does not require gender confirmation or a legal recognition of a player's transition sex in order for transgender players to participate on a team that matches their identity, at least 1 year of hormone treatment prior to competing on a female team.
Oh, surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
Broke the record.
In the middle of all this legal mess, Zuby, a UK-based rapper, basically identified as a female and broke British women's weightlifting records.
Saying, look, I'm not a professional powerlifter, but even I myself, I can stroll into the gym on any given day and I can break the British women's bench press record. I can break the British women's deadlift record. When I'm on form, I could potentially break the British female squat record. And I don't even compete.
So if you're a woman and you're a natural woman and you don't take any extra hormones or male hormones, you're not taking steroids or any sort of performance-enhancing drugs, you're doing your very best to compete and you're at the top of the heap. But then someone comes along that was a man for 30 years and decides that they're going to be a woman, and this has happened, and literally transitioned a few months ago and competes as a woman and destroys records and dominates you in that sport. That's bullshit.
He's right. He's absolutely right.
Well, yeah, without a doubt.
So yeah, that was it.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I don't really want to give that too much attention, like the whole sort of matter of it, because it comes down to science, it comes down to logic, and it comes down to you don't have to. Do you know what I mean? You can't impose that on people. Yeah. It's not fair. It's really not fair. Otherwise, women are going to have to use testosterone to compete, and then there's going to be drug scandals. Yeah, and that's the only way they're going to catch up.
Like the reason why it's not different from female to male is because anyone who's going from a female to a male is going into fight, like from the UFC, for example, is going into fight men, and already they're going to be at a biological disadvantage.
Well, yeah, of course, and you got to draw the line somewhere. Yeah. You really do.
I mean, it's no different than when I was in karate. There was times where I had to spar with a woman, and I actually refused to. Not because I'm sexist, because the woman in question was actually like 3 or 4 belts higher than me.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you don't take that risk. No, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
no.
Don't get me wrong, in technical application, yes, she would absolutely destroy me, as she should. because she's much higher ranked than I was. Right?
Yeah.
But by way of but she was about 100 pounds soaking wet and 5 foot nothing.
I think though
I could have kicked her through a wall.
Yeah, I think the thing is though, it's like obviously karate's that's got that. Yeah, you can pull your punches and whatever, but I think with boxing you got to be even more careful because you got a lot more size, you got more weight. Like even if they are similar size and weight, like they have been when I have, it's just you can't pull, like you just don't go the same because. They like I don't know. You might find I haven't come across a woman like who's more the aggressor, like in that sense. But I think even most women will feel intimidated to come up competing with a man, like in most things. Not in all sports, and that's not across the board. But I think on a general consensus, I think that would be a fair point. But yeah, that was that I think I would draw a line to that one there. But that's the first one. And if you enjoy, I'm going to keep doing some more reviews and reactions and whatnot. And then after that, I'll start doing some of my own stuff once people want to start watching. But yeah, we'll call it that. And see you later. And don't worry about the Mondays.
Take care. Bye.